Que lo que. What up, what up? We rolling. You saw the game against last night. We're talking about the game against Memphis Grizzlies. A lot of talk about it, that game. Great game. We said it was going to be a W. Memphis Grizzlies do have some injuries. You can't take no shorts. It's part of the season, it's part of the NBA, is what happens in the NBA. So can't take that for no shorts. It is what it is. Everybody gets injured. You can't take any team lightly, as you saw in the fourth quarter. We'll get to there. But you got to stay aggressive. This was a good matchup for the Knicks. We've had a couple of teams, the Washington, the Brooklyn teams, that was a little bit, one of the losing teams fighting for, a high draft pick. But even then, you can't have those type of trap games. So those games were good, that we basically mollywopped them from beginning to end. Those are good to see, that we're not playing down to the competition. We saw a little bit of that last year. So that's one adjustment you got to start. You're seeing with this last homestand, which right now we're 7-0, which is huge. Best start since 2012, 2013. So you're seeing that we're fighting at home. That's a good thing. You're going to spoil the Knicks fans, fighting at home, which is a good thing. So they're playing phenomenal. 7-0, beat the teams that we're supposed to beat. You're starting to see the team get the cohesiveness. Each person's getting the touch of to being able to play, touch the ball. Big key stat that you're seeing that should go on for the rest of the year is 15 and 30, at least north of 30 assists on there. And then rebounds, offensive rebounds on there. So as long as those are good to go, plus low turnovers, we've been very low this year. Those are positive takes away. Big game against Memphis. We fought. We started dominating the team. And then just what you thought was going to happen, which that's what I said. I think these next two teams are going to fight us and give us a different type of challenge. Memphis had Ja playing, and we took him out of his rhythm. You didn't have any highlights from Ja, which normally you would see. So defensively, that was really good. Mikal Bridges was switching on him. Even though the defense, them scoring 115, still not a good thing as far as our elite defense, which are coming later in the year. But still great enough defense to keep their best player at bay. You had JJJ, Jaren Jackson Jr. He fouled out, so had him under pressure. So that defense to get them their best players stressing, fighting, trying to figure out a way, had them frustrated. That part of the defense is really good. 130 is huge for us. So that means everybody's touching ball. Deuce had 0 points against Brooklyn. He bounced back with 9 points. Josh Hart with 8 points. And then you had, again, Jordan Clarkson, double digits. I think he had 11 or 13 points. So he's getting it rolling. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm loving. I got to give Mike Brown his kudos. Mike Brown, he's a very good coach as far as a player coach and as far as a team coach. So he knows the team cerebral. He started off from the beginning as far as setting the foundation of how they want to play, as far as team ball, what he's not budging from getting to the paint, spraying the ball, and he's letting the players, telling them even from the beginning, letting the assistant coaches talk and letting them figure it out, which makes it more fun for the players, where it's not so run this play. Basketball is a freeing game when you really play it. It's when you play street ball. Figuring out that's how you get the crazy plays, the crossovers. That's all figured out by free playing and enjoying the game. So you're seeing him letting them, this is what we're going to run as far as style of play. And then you guys figure it out. And you're seeing them play for each other. You're seeing the chemistry involved. That's why you're seeing 31 assists in the game, high 30s in assists. You're seeing the rebounding. Everybody's playing for each other. Everybody's getting touches. You're seeing the different players wearing the Timberland, you know what I'm saying? So everybody gets to wear the butters. That means everybody want to be in that picture. Everybody's fighting for defense. Just a lot of different things. But back to Mike Brown of giving the kudos. I like what I saw him doing for Yafro Selly. So you got Yafro Selly, who's been struggling. He's someone that the front office coveted. So you're looking at Leon and, Worldwide West. They wanted to get this kid. They get him here. He signs for 2 years, wants to be a Knick, said he wanted to be a Knick, and he's struggling. What do you do? How do you get him involved? And you saw he started shortening the rope a little bit. When he would mess up, he pulled him out. But whenever he pulled him out in the earlier couple of games, he talks to him. This is what you're doing. This is what we're looking at. So you see him talking to him right after he pulls him out. And then against Brooklyn, he puts him, I think it was Brooklyn or Washington. I think, it was Brooklyn because we dominated Brooklyn. So then he puts him in with the younger group. So he puts him with the younger group, kind of like he's in France. In France, he was, the old vet and the guy that, they kind of go to. And then so when he had that, he started getting his mojo a little bit. You see him running with the rookies and getting involved, getting rebounds, diving for the ball, passing the ball, getting to the free throw line, things like that to get himself involved. And then yesterday, he sits Mitch, which, we're going to rest Mitch. You're going to get Mitch to sit some games out, but then he puts him in with the veterans. So he's got a little bit of confidence that he had in the game from Brooklyn. He knows Mitch is going to sit out. He knows that now we're going to count on you today. So that's going to build his confidence. He puts him in with the veterans, and then he started struggling a little bit, missed a couple of threes, but he's getting involved, getting rebounds, doing the same type of thing. And then when Cat gets in foul trouble in the fourth quarter, he had won the whole game. But salute to Cat. He's been doing really good with the fouls. The last 2 games, he's been getting into the referee's ear. He has been getting hacked, and I do agree. But we still want him to get in control. He got 3 fouls, had to get out, and then coach puts in Yabusele. So that was something big for him to see. I'm sorry, Yafrosele. That's what we coined that. So you got Yafrosele involved. He's in the game, and then he just started getting into it. So now he's playing with the veterans. He has a confidence with the vets. The vets are trusting him. They're getting him the ball. You see him, they give him a couple of passes. He makes a dunk. They count on him to shoot the 3. Even though he missed it, the team's still looking for him. They're still building his confidence that way because they're going to need him later on in the year. So salute to Mike Brown. I said all that to say that I salute to Mike Brown for working with the players. So you can see he's doing different things to help each individual player. He's done it with Kolek, pull him aside a couple of times. He's pulled Dottie a couple of times, even Brunson. So I'm liking the coaching style. Salute. All that to say is that I like the Mike Brown hiring. I liked it originally. I was just concerned about his assistant coaches. If you go back, I did like the hiring. I think he's got the skill set. So now you're seeing the implementation of maybe the pop style coaching. From what I saw him doing that with that, I see the pop style coaching that he's going to be tough on him. Like Pop was tough on Parker when Parker did something, so they pulled him out and will coach him and talk to him. And that was kind of early what you saw with Yabusele, where he pulls him out and then he shortened his rotation. He wasn't even playing 5 minutes. There was time, I think, in Washington where all the rooks was out and he kind of didn't even give him a burn then. So I'm liking what he's doing. I'm seeing what he's doing. Phenomenal game. 3 straight games we score 130 points. We're taking incredible amount of shots. And the other side I was saying was 30 assists and 15 made threes was that stat that I was saying. Sorry. It's kind of all coming to me. But anyway, so games that we're making at least 15 threes and 30 assists is phenomenal. That's W time. And all that to say, we broke our in-season record, having taken 55 threes, which is huge. For Knicks, taking that many threes is unheard of, obviously. And we made 22. And that's with OG missing 8 out of the 9 he took. If he hits anyone, we break that. I think we're easily going to destroy both those records. In made threes, in season, I think we'll be close to 30 at one point. 30 and maybe 60, 62 is what I'm looking at as far as a high of attempts. So there's going to be a game where we'll have at least 30 made threes and somewhere around 60, 62 is my opinion. I think that's something that is a match. We're leading the NBA in attempts on there. So over Golden State is something to say. So enjoy this ride. This ride is looking really good. We're going to be balling. The team's clicking together. I think it's still going to take maybe another 10 games or so before the defense starts really getting locked in. This game tonight is also going to test us. So we had a great test against Memphis compared to all the other old teams. With Memphis, they tested us towards the end. You can see that you can get cocky, like, man, they can't mess with me. And then you play sloppy, you take your foot off the gas, and this is the NBA. They're going to come right back at you. And that gave us an understanding, like, all right, we can't play with our food. We got to go at it and then go after these guys. So the fact that we had to fight back in the fourth quarter is a good thing. It's a good test. You know what I'm saying? You get punched in the chin, you took a knee, now you're back up and like, all right, now let me finish this bump, right? And then that's what basically happened yesterday. So the fact that they did that, they got it complete, they got it done. I'm loving it. That was good. That was a good test for us. That lets us know that, we can't sleep. You saw Brunson at the end with Alan Hahn. Salute to Alan Hahn. He did the interview, let him know like, yo, we just gotta be able to play fourth quarter all the way through, 48 minutes. This is a league, so that's a good test to let them know that they can't play with their food and they gotta bring it for the entire game, which goes back to my point of tonight's game. Tonight's another test for us. Is the first back-to-back game. Two really good teams. They should be really good teams. I know Memphis has some injuries, but they fought. They fought back, and we had to hold them back and win the game and get into crunch time and figure out a way to win. And we did that. Captain Clutch came through. Salute to Mikal Bridges playing phenomenal defense on Ja, the steals he had, and then, diving on the floor, throwing the assist to Brunson to get the three, to get us in that breathing room towards the end. So salute to the team. So you can see the fight, and Jalen Brunson said those type of plays is what's going to get us to win. That's the type of plays we're going to need to win the championship. And I think that's where the goal is, you know what I'm saying, to wear this blue and orange. Great. I love that. Tonight's game against Orlando at home. You get to sleep. You're resting at home. It's a challenge. We're still at home, but Orlando's a contender. They just had a game winner the other day. So they beat Cleveland. Was it Miami Heat? Miami Heat played as well. So we got Miami Heat and Orlando, who both had game winners at the end. They're coming on highs, on energetic wins. They're feeling good about themselves. Those are our next two games here. So this is going to be a real big test, these next two teams. If we can beat these two, which I believe we can, and bring that intensity for 48 minutes, is going to be good. They're both going to test us. Bane, who's been struggling pretty much the whole year, that game winner gave him a lot of confidence, let him know that the team believes in him. So he's going to bring up that intensity and energy. His game is going to start going. They're going to start knocking down threes. Can we fight back from a run? When they go on a run, can we fight back? Can we lock down on D? So that's tonight is what I'm going to see, where there's going to be a point in time where Orlando's going to make a run or two or three. Can we sustain that with defense? Can we get 2 or 3 stops? And then can we make a run after that? And then, so this is a test of that I'm looking at for playoffs or later on in the team, of how we take challenges against these other teams that are good and competitive. Tonight and Friday are going to be a very good test. So we're going to play tonight. We'll have 1 day's rest, and then we play the final home game at Miami. I'm sorry, not at Miami, at the Garden against Miami. And then we play Miami again on Tuesday at Miami. So it's going to be interesting to see. And back-to-back with Miami is going to be something to see. So these next 3 games are going to be a real test for us. Can we keep that same energy? Can we ride? If we do lose one, I don't think we do for at least these next 2. I think we go up and then fight Miami at Miami. So if we can get those are going to be a big test. And then we start riding. Can Yabusele participate? I don't know. We'll see. Does Robinson play today? That's it. Do they keep him? I know they held him for 1 game. Does he play the second game of a back-to-back against an Orlando, who's a tall team, long team? Does he play today? Would be interesting to see. Does he play Friday against Miami? Does he play 1 game and miss the other? We'll see. Those are going to be some of the notes that I'm going to be looking at there. I think he plays tonight. I think they kind of saved him for that. They're a tall team, fast team. We could use his defense and rebounding. You'll definitely see his impact. If Mitch plays, easy W. If he doesn't, it's going to be interesting. I still think we get a W, but it's going to be challenging for Yabusele to go against Wendell Carter, against Jonathan Isaac. Most of the team there is pretty big. They're usually about 6'8" to 6'10". So if we have just Yabusele, it's going to be tough on our team. It's going to be a good defensive matchup. They're a taller team. They're very good defensively. Jalen Suggs is aggressive. He's a different type of defender. I think he's going to put pressure on Jalen Brunson. He can play one-on-one defense. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's going to be a really good matchup tonight. And against Miami, we'll get to that. We'll talk about that. But tonight's game against Orlando is going to be a big test. This is someone who's supposed to be this team is supposed to be in the playoffs. They got a good team. They're starting to get in rhythm. So it's a really good test to see, because they're starting to feel good. They struggled early, and now they're getting into rhythm. They know about us. They're not going to slack. So a good team to see. But I still got us with a W. It's going to be a hard-fought one. I think this one's going to be a lot closer than what most people think. But that type of win yesterday definitely helps us. Being that it's a back-to-back, how does Brown handle the rotations? The bench has been good. We got 30 points from the bench yesterday. Can the bench, Jordan Clarkson got it going. Josh Hart had 8 yesterday. Deuce had 9 points. So can they get it going? Can they get into the vibe? Can Josh Hart get into triple double status? Can he get to that of what he normally does to get the team involved? Jordan Clarkson's feeling himself. I think can they get it rolling? A back to back on Josh on Josh's back, huh? Back to back, Josh's back. Anyway, so we can see because does his back handle it? How does he feel? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see. Does Kolek get some burn today? Can Kolek facilitate? It's going to be interesting today. Today's going to be a really good game to see is what we're made of, and I think Orlando's going to test us, and Miami for sure. Miami, we got to come for 48 minutes and just battle the whole time. So we'll see. It's always in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's the Blanche. Salute to Uncle Freezy, Blanche Tears. But we getting it. You know what I mean? We out here. We're going to get this. Trusting the team. It's time to ride. This is the time. Can we break the 3-point record tonight? I don't know. Maybe today, maybe against the Heat. We'll see. I'm looking and I'm liking. Let's go Knicks. We got this. Another W tonight is what we're going for. We're fighting. 48 minutes is what we're looking for. You heard? You're